It's December, and regardless of what holiday you celebrate or if you celebrate the holidays at all, it's that time that we're just surrounded by these delicious, rich, comforting foods that only come out this one time of year, right? These are things like holiday cookies and eggnog and chocolate peppermint everything. So, today we're going to talk about the 8 tips that can help you navigate the holidays. I'm Dana Lynn. I'm a registered dietitian, and I want to help you find balance this holiday season so that you don't go into the new year feeling heavy and lethargic and guilt ridden. So let's dive in. Tip number one is you want to avoid getting overly hungry, right? So often when we're going to an event where we know there's going to be a lot of food and alcohol, we might be tempted to skip meals earlier that day or just reduce our calories. But what this actually does is we end up eating so many more calories than we would have otherwise because we're so overly hungry when we get there. So it's really important that you still have your breakfast and lunch. Make sure they're balanced. So you want to make sure there's protein, there's plenty of fiber, things that are going to help you feel satisfied and really hold you over so that you don't end up arriving really hungry. Maybe even have a snack before you go. And speaking of snacks, that's where, if you work in an environment or even your home environment is full of these holiday treats, it's going to be important to have healthy snacks on hand, right? So that those are easy to grab, you don't get overly hungry and eat a lot of the other stuff that maybe you don't want to. Tip number two is eat your veggies. This is important any time of year, right? But that doesn't change in December. And maybe it's a little bit more important because number one, the nutrients from the vegetables can kind of offset the less nutritious foods that we're having. But also, those veggies are very filling. There's all that fiber in there, there's all that water in there. So it's a great way to fill up without getting too many calories. So don't leave them out, even though there's a lot of really other yummy foods around. Make sure that veggies, ultimately you want them to make up like half your diet. So whatever you can do to start to move in that direction is going to be super helpful at any time of year, but definitely during the holidays. So tip number three is enjoy your favorite seasonal treats. This is so important. You're allowed to eat these things. It's okay. They're not bad. They don't make you a bad person if you eat them, contrary to what society tells us. And it's actually really important. This is where the balance part comes in, right? If you're having those healthy meals, you're eating plenty of fiber and protein and things like that, then it's easier to not overdo it with those favorite comfort foods, those favorite sweets, things like that. So go ahead and enjoy them. Pick out your favorite ones, right? Don't, just eat anything because it's there, but really have those ones you really enjoy. And then when you have them, give yourself full permission to eat them and eat them mindfully, meaning eat them slowly, take small bites, really enjoy the flavors, and it's gonna make them a lot more satisfying. So definitely don't leave them out. It's okay to have them as part of this holiday season. Tip number four is to nourish your emotions. Yes, this can be a very joyful time of year for some, but it can also be a really challenging time for a lot of people. A lot of emotions come up, a lot of grief, a lot of family triggers. There's so much going on at this time of year, and it's really important to recognize the role that those emotions play in your behaviors. It's different for everyone, but we know there's no doubt that sales of alcohol and sugar go up unbelievably in December. So, yes, a lot of this is just the fun of the holidays, but it's also because all those emotions are coming up, and we know food can be a tool to help manage those emotions. Unfortunately, it's just not the healthiest way to do it, and it leads to kind of more problems than not. So, what you really want to do is find some non-food, non-alcohol ways to nourish yourself, to deal with those emotions. So this can be things like dedicating time every single day to getting out and walking in nature, or to doing a daily meditation practice, doing yoga, journaling, anything that's going to help calm your nervous system and help you manage your emotions is going to be so important at this time of year. So don't leave that out because you're busy. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health. It's really going to help you go through the holidays without falling into those unwanted behaviors to kind of deal with that stuff. So That actually kind of ties into tip number 5, which is move your body. Um, there are going to be more calories consumed, but also we have all these emotions coming up. So that movement is going to be so critical. Find it do it in a way you enjoy. So this might be getting out in nature. It might be putting on some holiday music and dancing around. Whatever it is that is going to make it doable for you and joyful for you so that it can become a daily thing. Yes, we get really busy this time of year. This isn't the thing you want to cross off your list in order to do all the other things. So make sure you have that daily movement going, especially if you can get out in nature and move in nature. There's something so calming to our nervous system when we're outside in nature. So don't forget to move your body. Tip number 6 is go 1 for 1 with alcohol. So, you guys may have heard this, maybe not, but if you're planning on drinking alcohol at any event or just in general, you want to adopt a 1 for 1 rule. So, what this looks like is for every alcoholic beverage you have, you're following it up with water. And this can be just plain water, but you could also do sparkling water with lime. You could do an herbal tea. You could do LaCroix or one of those sparkling waters, something like that. Something that's going to hydrate you, it's going to fill you up, and it's going to help you to not drink more alcohol than you wanted to, because that can be a slippery slope, right? So that's going to help reduce calories from the alcoholic beverages, but also the more we drink, our ability to think critically is inhibited. So you may have a plan to try to eat healthy when you're out, but once you've been drinking, that goes out the window, right? But also, even the next day, if you've drinking too much, the next day, your diet's going to be pretty unhealthy just to help you kind of feel better and deal with the hangover. So, a good idea to do that 1 for 1. Enjoy a big glass of water in between each drink, and you're going to be feeling a lot better at the end of the holiday season. So, tip number 7, avoid the Last Supper mentality. So, this Last Supper mentality we tend to get in December because we know in January we're going to go on that diet and we're going to completely never eat anything that tastes good ever again, right? There's this like mentality that comes into us. It's that last chance to just go crazy before total restriction. And this actually leads to way more overeating than it would otherwise. And that overeating leads to feeling worse, which leads to over restriction in the new year. And if we over restrict on a diet, that's going to lead to failure because it's just not sustainable, right? So, um, it's challenging, but you really want to focus on having that balance of being able to enjoy some of those favorite foods, but also eating the healthy foods. This is going to help prevent that Last Supper mentality. It's giving yourself permission, right? And, I'm definitely not saying don't make changes in the new year. And if you are interested in making changes in the new year, I really recommend doing it in a less restrictive way, right? So this is going to make it a lot more sustainable. I'm actually launching a program in January. It's called the Chrysalis. And this is where we really focus on understanding and changing those unwanted patterns and behaviors in a healthy way. We work on a one-on-one setting because there is no one size fits all to health. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to leave the link below to my website if you want to find out more. But either way, it is so easy to fall into that all or nothing behavior with the Last Supper mentality. So that's where we really want to give yourself permission, enjoy some of your favorite foods, but don't go completely off the rails with it. And our very last tip is focus on connection. So it's really easy to forget the true meaning of the holidays, which is actually about love and connection. And these are crucial human needs. So why not take this time to really nurture these needs instead of using this time to overindulge? So say you're going to a party, a family event, whatever you're going to, really focus on who do you want to connect with? What conversations do you want to have? What relationships do you want to nourish and build and maybe even mend? And let's be real, some of these conversations can be very challenging and triggering and bring up a lot of stuff, right? That can dysregulate the nervous system. So, this is why tip number 4 is so crucial. But by focusing on these non food and drink related things, this is where we can really come out of the season feeling good. So those are our 8 tips. Just to wrap it up, we talked about tip number 1, which is avoid getting overly hungry. Tip number 2 is eat your vegetables. 3 is enjoy your favorite seasonal treats. Number 4 is nourish your emotions. 5, move your body. 6, there's that 1-for-1 trick with the alcohol. 7, avoid the Last Supper mentality. And 8, focus on connection. And look, you do not need to follow all of these. Maybe just pick 1 or 2 that resonate with you. It's completely up to you. It's about prioritizing what is important to you and finding a way to do those things where it's going to feel good, it's sustainable, and it's going to leave you entering the new year not feeling terrible, right? So comment below, let me know what tips you're going to try, and let me know how it goes when you do implement them. Please like this video if you liked it, and I'd really appreciate if you share it with other people who might find it helpful, family, friends. If you want more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you click the bell button, that'll let you know anytime I release a new video. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here and sticking around. I really hope that this was helpful for you. Take care, enjoy this holiday season, and I'll see you guys in the new year. All right, bye.